Good afternoon. I am Saad Al-Aziz, the owner and head instructor of Semper Fortis Jiu Jitsu here in San Antonio, Texas, and here to tackle this week's question of the week. This week's question of the week comes from my friend Brian Jeske, who is out of Prescott, Arizona, and he owns the Prescott Caliber Club. You should check him out online. He also does a YouTube channel for the Prescott Caliber Club, where he talks about all types of firearms and gives some instructions on firearms self-defense and other less lethal means of self-defense. So Brian has recently started Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and we've been talking, and he's having a challenge with his cardio in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, which is absolutely normal, especially for people just starting, and that includes people that come from CrossFit or avid joggers or people that are in like really good shape are going to struggle with their cardio when they initially come into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because a lot of the techniques that we're doing are designed to affect your cardio, in addition to the fact that you and your training partner, the person you're sparring with, are both going 100%, trying to get better positions, trying to work your submissions. You're trying to win and you're giving it your best, and going at 100% will wear you out. So the things that we can do to improve our cardio: one, do more sparring in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The more you spar, the more it'll improve your cardio. So like if you come in and it's like after one round of sparring, so you do 1 5-minute round and your cardio is done. It's cool, it's not a crisis. Next class, see if you can squeeze in a second round, a second 5-minute round, and see if you can make it through. And then, don't try to go from 1 5-minute round this class and my cardio was trash to 10 rounds, 10 5-minute rounds next class. That's a bridge too far. Try to incrementally maybe do an extra round, and that will help you improve your cardio. The other thing is you have to keep people off your chest when you are on the bottom, because in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu we call it pressure passing, and what we're talking about when we are intentionally putting pressure on your chest, on your stomach area, to affect your breathing. Because as we pressure into you and affect your breathing, that steals your cardio quickly. Because if you're not breathing normally, and it's a labored breathing because you have somebody pressuring into your chest, pressing into your stomach, into your sternum, your cardio is going to go down greatly. So you have to protect that area. So if you're on the bottom, you want to try to get to your side to prevent them from pressuring into your chest, because they're pressuring into your chest if they're in side control, they're pressuring into your chest if they're in top mount, they're pressuring into your chest in top half, they're pressuring into your chest. In some ways, they pass even from your closed guard. Like Bernardo Faria does the over-under pass, where he's pressuring into your sternum. And so even in closed guard, he's affecting your cardio. So you have to protect this area from the other person's body weight pressuring into you. One of the ways you can do that is like some people from bottom half would do, like, say, a knee shield. They'll insert their knee at the person's hip or chest to prevent them and keep them off of them. Other ways, like when I'm in bottom side control or in bottom half, I focus on being on my side, not flat on my back, to where when the person is on top of me, they're pressuring against my frame on the side of me and not pressuring into my chest and sternum area where they're affecting my cardio. So that's one thing to do when you're rolling. Focus on not having that person on your chest. And I know, especially when you're inexperienced, that's easier said than done. It's like, oh yeah, that'd be great. I'd just stay on top all the time, except I'm going against people who are really good, and they're on top. So when you're on bottom and you can't get on top, then you want to focus on being on your side, taking that pressure off your chest. Another thing is the pace that you're sparring. And that can be very deceptive. Like, I remember I was a purple belt, and I would normally spar after class for like up to an hour or more. Just, training partner after training partner. We would just spar. I'd have multiple training partners, and I would easily, train, just continuously spar for over an hour or more. And then I was sparring, and I was in class one day, and Lucas Lepre was visiting our academy, and he's one of the best jiu-jitsu competitors ever, multiple time black belt world champion. And it was my first round, and it was his first round. And he's like, Saad, you wanna spar? And I'm like, man, I'd be honored, because he's a black belt world champion. It's like, man, I get to roll with Lucas Lepre. And I knew, because I was a purple belt at the time, I knew I couldn't beat, the reigning black belt world champion. So my goal was just to match him move for move and not let him submit me in our 5-minute round. That was my goal. I was like, I know I'm not going to beat him, but I'm going to try not to let him beat me. So we get to rolling, and I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like my defense is going pretty good. And then like maybe 3.5 minutes into it, I realized I was now exhausted. Like I was like almost like hyperventilating, and my cardio was shot. And he mercifully just submitted me a couple times before the 5-minute round ended. And I had to skip the next round. I was bent over, and I was like, how could this be? Like, I normally spar for an hour or more, and now I'm rolling in my very first round, and in less than 5 minutes, I'm totally exhausted. And it was just baffling to me that my cardio could be taken that quickly. But the mistakes I made was, one, when I was doing 1-hour rounds, even though we was doing a 5-minute round with Lucas, I was doing a 1-hour round like a marathon jogger pace. When I was rolling with Lucas, we were sprinting. And doing marathon jogging does not prepare you for sprinting. And he was pressuring my chest, and I wasn't able to get that pressure off my chest, which was stealing my cardio even faster. So I was going at a pace that was faster than my normal pace, and I was being pressured in the chest, and I significantly lost my cardio so quick. And my training partners were like just sort of surprised. They're like, Saad, you roll for over an hour, your cardio goes forever, and you're bent over in less than 5 minutes, gasping for air. Like, what happened? And I had to analyze what happened, because I'm thinking, what went wrong, that my cardio was taken so quickly. And what went wrong was I had this world champion black belt pressuring my chest, and I was trying to match his pace, and it was a pace that I wasn't prepared to go at. I was used to a marathon pace, and we were sprinting, and my cardio was not ready for that sprint. So it was a great eye-opener to me that, one, when I roll, try to keep that match at a pace that's my normal pace, and you're going to have to work up to a sprint type match where you're just boom, 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 boom. Everything's explosive. Everything's going, constant movement, where a lot of times when I would roll, we would hold different positions. There would be pauses in the action where when me and Lucas were rolling, there was no pauses. It was just constant go, 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 go. So those are some of the things that are going to help you with your cardio. Realize you have to protect your chest. If you don't protect your chest, your cardio will go. And like a friend of mine, Mario Sperry, an amazing black belt, he talked about passing the guard, landing on people's chest. And when he would hear, that when he landed on their chest, he's like, in my ears, that's a symphony to my ears, because I know I'm affecting this guy greatly now. And so realize that when you're on top, you want to pressure pass them. And if you watch the greats in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, they're pressuring the person on the bottom's chest to affect them. And then realize that the pace you go at, you may go at a normal marathon pace, but if you're going at a sprinter's pace, that's going to affect your cardio differently. So keep them off your chest. Try to keep the roll at a pace that you're comfortable with. Find your areas to catch your breath, to rest. And do more jiu-jitsu. And those things will help your cardio. All right, that's it for this week's question. Thanks, Ryan. And anybody got a question for next week? Post it down below, and I will answer. Ciao.